Yo guys, what is up? It is Card Shuffler 99 here. Today we're going to show you guys an awesome fire trick. It doesn't have to involve fire if you guys don't want it to, but it's a really cool prediction trick. Anyways, we're going to get right into the trick here. So Adam, I'm going to give you this deck here, and I'm going to give you a few instructions here, all right? I want you to follow these instructions very carefully. So what we're going to do is you're going to go through the deck like this, all right? And you can take out any card you want, go through, take out any card, bring it to the top of the deck, flip it over, and then cut the deck like that. Okay. And you're going to do all of that behind your back so I can walk through it with you right now. Okay. So go through behind your back. Yep. He's doing it right now. Take out any card, bring it to the top, flip it over, and cut the deck, and let me know when you are finished.
I am done.
All right, you are done. Now, we're going to take a look at what card you stopped at. So let's see. You stopped at the 7 of diamonds, as you can see here. Place it down right here, and you'll notice I actually had a prediction right here, sitting on the table the entire time. And Adam, I believe you have a lighter. We're going to need to see that. Now, you can have the spectator hold it. I could hold it. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to bring the fire into the camera. I'm going to go ahead and show you that we can actually get some magic to happen here. Show you that everything disappears except a few dots, and it happens to say the 7 of diamonds, your selection. All right, guys, that is the trick. Let's learn how to do this pretty cool trick. Now, it does not have to involve the paper or the fire, anything along those lines. You can just have a normal prediction. And basically, the majority of the trick is a pretty cool card force that they probably won't catch on to. So let me show you guys how to set this up. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up the deck first. So take any card you want to force, all right? Sit down on the table. And what you're going to do is you're going to take around 5 cards. You can take 6, 7 cards. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you know how many cards roughly it is. I'm going to use 7 here. And what you're going to do, you're going to take these cards, place them down, place your selection or whatever card you want to force, place it down face up, and then place the rest of the deck on top. And that's the setup for the trick. Now, you do have a few options here. You can shuffle the deck, but you have to be very careful. Because if you cut the deck, the trick is not going to work. And I would not recommend to have the spectator to shuffle the deck because everything could get messed up if they do a single cut. You could technically shuffle the deck if you do a riffle shuffle. As long as this card stays near the bottom, you should be okay. But once again, I don't recommend doing an actual shuffle. I mean, you can, it's just risky, you know, and you don't really want to mess the trick up. But the easiest way, if you guys know any false cuts, you can go through them. Whatever is easiest for you guys to do. False cuts, if you know any, go through them. If you want to do a riffle shuffle, just be really, really careful because a few things could happen. You could be doing it, right? And that could flash. I don't know if you guys could see that, but that could happen. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. You could mess up the shuffle. It's just a little risky. So I would not recommend riffle shuffling, but you can if you practice it enough, and it's just a little risky. So after you do maybe a few false cuts, you're going to explain the directions to the spectator. Or before you do that, you got to set something up. You got to set up the prediction. Now, in this case, we used a little bit of fire, and this involves 2 pens. I'm going to show you how to set this. You don't have to do this, guys. You can just write a normal prediction, 7 of diamonds, or you can set up another deck. I'll show you that in a bit, but let's do this first. So take a normal pen, any pen you got, right? Take it, and what you're going to do is you're going to write the card you're forcing. So in this case, the 7 of diamonds. You're going to write the card you're forcing on this in dots. Now, the reason why you do it in dots is if you, when you're going to use this other pen, which is the, I guess you could call it the magic pen, everything's going to disappear except for the real ink. So this is real ink. So your real pen, you're going to take it, you're going to make whatever card. So we made the 7 of diamonds here, and then you're going to stop. You're going to need a Pilot Friction 07 pen, which I'll show you guys right here. It's a Pilot Friction pen. Most Pilot Frictions are able to, if you put fire under them, they actually seem to disappear. You can look it up. There's certain pens that happen to disappear if you when there's heat added to it. And a cool thing is sometimes, depending on the pen, if you put it in the freezer, I believe, it can actually return all the dots. So if you want to make the prediction disappear, you can actually put this paper in the freezer and it would happen to disappear. But it's the Pilot Friction Pen 07. It's erasable, so you probably don't want them to see it. So if you do this, you want to set the trick up earlier and only have this pen with you, and you want to get rid of this. So this trick, you want to set it up a little bit earlier. So with this pen, the real pen, you're going to make the 7 of diamonds. Then come in with this pen. I'm going to do this a little bit out of camera here, maybe off to the side. You can draw dots all around it to make it hidden with the pen that makes it erasable. So obviously that's not what I would actually do, but I would fill up the entire paper with the friction pen, and then from there you put the fire under it, and then all of the dots would disappear except the 7 of diamonds because you have the real pen. And then make sure you get rid of this. You don't want this pen anywhere near you when you're actually performing the trick. That way you can take out this pen, sure the dots don't disappear, so it seems like real magic. From this point, there's a few other things you can do. You have a few other options. So, one, just take a piece of paper, 7 of diamonds, right? Take it, write 7 of diamonds on it, fold it up, and just place it in the deck box before the trick even starts. Easy enough, real simple, and then take it out whenever you want to. Or, another easy thing to do is you can actually use 2 decks here. So this is another deck, right? Take whatever card you're forcing. Once again, we're forcing the 7 of diamonds. Take it and place it somewhere face up to the middle of the deck, like that. And then there's a few things you can do with that. I'll get to that in a bit. And you can place that off to the side. So there's so many ways you can do this, and you're using this it's basically a card force, and you can reveal it any way you want to. Now, once you have done that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna explain the directions. This is probably the most important part of the trick, because if you or the spectator messes up the directions, the entire trick will not work. So I usually have a deck by my side, or in this case, I'll just use this, and I'll explain the directions really slowly, really easily, right? So I say, you can go through the cards like this, and make sure they're doing this behind their back. You don't want them to see this. You say, go through the deck, take any card, bring it to the top of the deck, flip it over, and cut the deck. And that's it, and then bring the cards back around. And I would recommend going through this at least twice, because if this part of the trick is messed up, the entire trick will not work. So, once again, you walk through it with them one more time. Say, all right, go through the cards, take any card, bring it to the top, flip it over, cut the deck. If they mess up this part, the entire trick will not work. So make sure you're really careful explaining these directions. So, from this point on, they do this, right? They go through the deck, they take any card, they bring it to the top of the deck, and this is all behind the back, so they don't know what's happening. They flip it over, and then they cut the deck. Now, they bring the cards back around, right? You got to be careful here, because you're going to reveal what card they selected while trying not to flash the card that is under it, because you're in a situation right now where there is the 7 of diamonds, and then around 7 cards below it is the 8 of spades, which is what the card they actually selected, but we don't know that. All they know is there's one face-up card in the deck. So, you're going to go through the cards. I recommend going slowly and carefully, just in case, because you could flash a card. Go nice and slow. Once you reach your card, so 7 diamonds, you say you selected the 7 of diamonds, go a few more cards down, and then do something called a block push, where you push around 5 to 10 cards, right, as one pile. And then from there, you can keep spreading. And what that does is it hides the face-up 8 of spades right there. So one more time, you spread through the deck. All right, you go through, you see the selection, you out-jog it, go a few more cards down, block push. All right, so you hide this 8 of spades, block push, and then spread through the rest of the cards. And then you can you take the card out, set these cards off to the side, put it in your pocket, right? Make sure you get rid of the evidence, and then you can reveal it any way you want. You go through the deck, show that you had a card face up the entire time, which would be the 7 of diamonds. Or, if you even want to, you could say, I'm going to do the same thing. So you take this deck, which is already pre-set up, take it, go behind your back, and say you're doing the same thing as them, but in reality, you're doing nothing. And then you can show that you also had one face-up card, which happened to be, once again, the 7 of diamonds. Or you could just reveal your prediction, whatever you did, however you prepared it, And that is the trick, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.